Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Lizabar, and we're going to talk briefly about, this stuff that's been the law for a while now and has just taken effect, which is shocking artists all over Twitter. The federal government changed the reporting requirements in tax law for income. Now, they did this on multiple levels. You might recall all the hubbub about the IRS wanting to change it to like $200 a month in a regular bank account, and that kind of making everybody like a little weird and mad because that's a lot smaller than it used to be. It was a big deal for like a week, and then everybody forgot about it. Well, that was all part of the same legislative package as this, which is a change in how PayPal has to report transactions. Now, used to, if you scroll down here, it was 20,000 bucks in goods and services transactions, and then you had to file a 1099K change or form and send that to the federal government saying, "Hey, this is how much money I made." Now it's down to 600 bucks. Theoretically, you were always responsible for all of your income. You had to say, "Hey, I made this much money," to the IRS. But previously, you were probably able to skirt around that. You're kind of risking, an audit and stuff coming at you, but you could probably get around it and play the odds and hope that the IRS doesn't notice you. And you could probably get away with it. A lot of people did. A lot of people are. But starting this year, starting this January, you can't do that so easily because now you're down to 600 bucks. You could probably do something like have people send money to you by friends and family instead. But I don't know if that's a good idea because if you do that, there's a crime on the books called structuring. And what structuring is it's when you structure your financial transactions to avoid IRS reporting rules. Now, I don't know if that's just in terms of bank accounts, but I do know there are cases where, like hot dog carts and small restaurants and stuff, were hit with this crime because they would do something like deposit $250 a day, their proceeds, into the bank, which is below the threshold to report at, which I think was like $300 for one deposit or something like that. So they would get audited, they would get investigated, and they would lose money because they have to hire a lawyer and da 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 da. And the IRS always wins those kind of cases anyway, even if all the facts are completely aligned against them. That's just how it is. So I don't know if going to friends and family is a good idea because maybe that counts as structuring. Maybe they go after somebody for that. I don't know if they can. I don't know if they will. I'm not intimately familiar with that. I'm not a tax lawyer, for example. So if you're an artist or a craftsman or somebody that's selling stuff and making money via PayPal transactions, here's the good news for you. You get to join all the rest of us in paying more taxes to the federal government. Congratulations. I'm glad you're there with us. And I feel like a lot of the people that I have seen complaining about this stuff on Twitter today, because it didn't really start up until today, a lot of those people are the same ones that say things like, Elon Musk needs to pay more taxes. So and so should pay more taxes. Well, you got to pay taxes so we can have roads or whatever, you know? So I made a handy little meme. There you go. We live in a society, people. We live in a society, and that means you got to pay your taxes. And if you don't pay your taxes, clearly you're a supervillain in disguise. That's the lesson to learn here. On a more controversial note, I want you to think about if you're upset about this, if you're very upset that you now have to pay 30 bucks out of a $90 commission, you got to send 30 bucks off to the feds now. If you're upset about that, I want you to think about who you voted for and how that person voted for and whether they signed the papers to make this into a law. Because if you're upset about this and you voted for those people, that means you are responsible for this law. You are responsible for you paying more taxes. So you should think about that. And if you like that, great. If you don't like that, great. But at least just think about it for 5 minutes of your life. After all, you live in a society, and if you voted, you should vote well. And you should know what the people that you have voted for are doing to you because they just did this to you. And you probably don't like it. Bye bye.